Sotto la gronda della torre antica, una rondine amica allo sbocciar del mandorlo è tornata. Ritorna tutti gli anni, sempre la stessa data. Monti e mare tu e barca per tornare solo amore. Quando fuggeva lontano, speri invano, ma non torna più. Speri invano, ma non torna più. Ebbro dell'ombra, dolce della sera, passa la primavera, cinguettano le rondini nel volo. Fece di luce d'aria, ed io son triste e solo. Monti e mare tu non varchi per tornare mia vicina. Posti tutta la mia vita, sei fuggita, ma non torni più. Sei fuggita e non torni più.
Sotto la gronda della torre antica, una rondine amica allo scocciar del mandorlo è tornata. Ritorna tutti gli anni, sempre alla stessa data. Monti e mare essa barca per tornare solo amore. Quando fuggeva lontano, speri invano, ma non torna più.
Pelvic Anchor Model and Free Tone System, a unified theory of singing based on Rico Bardi's interpretation of Rondine al Nido. Visual interpretation, a 3-layer singing model centered on the female pelvic anchor. 1 breath support, sitting on the pelvis. As you pointed out, a woman's buttocks equals the breath mass in singing. She sits firmly on her pelvis, symbolizing breath that must settle deep and remain rock solid. This forms the base of the rugby Certainly. Here's the full English translation in the first-person perspective of your revised theoretical model and message to your student, preserving the imagery, emotional tone, and structure. The pelvic anchor model and free tone system. My theoretical framework based on Rico Bardi's interpretation of Rondine al Nido. My student recently sent me a practice recording of Rico Bardi singing Rondine al Nido. Let me begin by saying his progress is impressive. He's made noticeable improvements, but the core issue still hasn't been solved. That's why I want to analyze this performance in depth. Rico Bardi's singing gives me a perfect opportunity to articulate what I call a visual, anatomical, respiratory, philosophical, unified model of singing. Image interpretation, a 3-layer vocal system centered on the female pelvic anchor. 1. Breath support, the buttocks sitting on the pelvis. As I've said many times, a woman's buttocks, the breath mass in singing. The image of a woman seated on her pelvis represents how the breath must settle all the way down, grounded, steady as a rock. This is not about pressing down the breath, but about letting it sit securely and stay still. This forms the base of the rugby ball breath, the foundation from which sound can spring upward. This idea stands in direct contrast to traditional bel canto methods like Garcia, Lamperti, and Malocchi, which often focus on subglottic pressure. What I emphasize is not compression, but anchored stillness. The chest cavity, extending the breath column, preserving shape. This is the zone where the sound grows and where tone color is shaped. In the diagram, you see the breath extending upward, but always maintaining a columnar shape, not compressed or squeezed. This reflects my core principle. The voice must form within the breath column, not be crafted by mouth or facial muscle manipulation. This is all about preserving the rugby ball shape of the breath. The lateral stretch and tension across this shape is what allows the sound to have both lightness and richness at once. Sound emission, a gentle stream, not a blast. In the image, the sound emerges from the mouth as a gentle flow, not a forceful push. That's exactly the kind of natural, tender release that characterizes Rico Bardi's tone. He doesn't push from the throat, he builds the full structure internally and the sound simply flows out. What I'm saying here is a direct rejection of most modern mask singing or air blast techniques. Instead, I support body resonance plus silence support, a true bel canto approach rooted in physiological integrity. Audio evidence from Rico Bardi Rondine al nido. His performance clearly reflects the following ideal qualities of bel canto singing. Element. Rico Bardi's singing. Low breath anchoring. Each phrase is lifted calmly from the lower abdomen. No throat tension at all. Warm, flowing tone. No metallic harshness. His tone rises like silk from deep within. Graceful high note endings, especially when resolving high notes, they float like feathers, not fall. Emotional subtlety comes through shifts in resonance points, not through loudness, but through delicate internal motion. My breakthrough. A 3-tier functional model of singing. Through this image and system, I've clearly divided the act of singing into 3 interconnected layers. Layer, function, corresponding mechanism. 1. Pelvic zone. Holding the breath mass, structural stability, foundational tension, trust in the body. 2. Chest zone. Shaping the breath column, tone formation, airflow modulation, resonance balance. 3. Oral zone. Final emergence of tone, where the note appears, not where it is pushed. This layered anatomical system is not just theoretical, it works. It's perfectly suited for teaching, daily practice, and diagnosing faulty vocal habits. I call it # the pelvic anchor model and free tone system. A direct question to today's tenors. Do you have a woman's butt inside your body? That short skirt zone, the breath support that sits on your pelvis? Do you have it? No. Not a single one of you does. My student Giovanni sang Rondine al nido recently. It was quite good. He's made great progress and shows excellent promise as a lyrical tenor. But I have to ask, can you hear how Rico Bardi's tone is created by a woman's seated pelvis, like the diagram on the right? Scalmana's tone, yes, it has that short skirt breath quality, but it's too high. It floats in his upper chest, just like in the image on the left. Exactly the same issue we hear in Giovanni Ribicesu. A message to Giovanni Scalmana. Giovanni, your most important task now is to let the woman's butt inside you sit down on your pelvis. Don't let her stand up. Do you understand? You must find that sighing, downward releasing tone. That's how Rico Bardi sings. And today I won't go into the technical detail because human beings simply wouldn't understand. Not just students. That no one truly understands this yet. But Giovanni, you're close. You're about to surpass many professional tenors. You've already done half the work. Stay with me. I want to speak with you. I want to sing for you. I want to show you a breath training method that no one else in your next steps. Step 1. Let the woman's pelvis inside you sit firmly on your own pelvic base. This is non-negotiable. Without it, you will never become one of the world's greatest tenors. Don't imitate Ribicesu. He screams. He even admitted it himself. He practices deep voice training and then can't phonate the next day. A friend of mine, a student of Corelli, told me Corelli's voice was destroyed by age 50. That's the limit of the youth tenor approach. Someday I'll talk to Ribicesu and say, don't do this. Step 2. Extend the breath column from the top of your head to the woman's butt. This entire pathway must stay stretched and supported. No collapse. Only then will your vocal line stay intact. Do you know how vocal line is created and managed? No one talks about it, but I will explain it to you in detail. That's your second mission, and you must accomplish it. Step 3, which I will teach you after the first 2. The final secret, vocal placement. Once you master all 3 steps, you'll immediately surpass 90% of the world's tenors.